The world-famous Governor's Comedy Club in the heart of Levittown, Long Island. It's Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up with your host, that Tarantella rockin' fella, Don Sill.
Yeah! Hey, everybody, and welcome to Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up right here on GubsRadio.com and Facebook Live. This is the show where we take two comedians and put them in a series of head-to-head comedy challenges to see which one has what it takes and which one has what it ain't. I'm your host, Don Sill, and now let's meet our judges. Our first judge, when he's not DJing a party or landscaping someone's property, he's out there grinding it out as the host of the Joey Petroni Show on WGBB. He's a badass biker dude with a heart of gold. He's Joey Petroni, everybody. And our next judge is a comedy trailblazer who has helped build and create a stand-up comedy scene right here on Long Island since the 1980s. She's an actress, comedian, teacher, and manager, and has had an amazing career. Some say she's a legend, but she's actually more of a saint. She's Joan Saint. Joey. Yes.
That's been used many times.
And let's also introduce the Gagoots. Where is the Gagoots? The Gagoots is here today, our very own roasting specialist. How are you doing tonight?
I'm ready to boil some butt tonight. Don, I tell you, I'm going to stuff a couple of turkeys, and then I'm going to make a nice stew. A stugazzo and ghoul stew.
Very good. So now tonight is the first night of the big tournament, the big Put Up, Shut Up, Stand Up tournament. Have you put any has there been any extra emphasis on the roasting tonight?
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of emphasis. I'm going to use a lot of virgin olive oil because when I'm done tonight, there is no going to be a virgin no more.
Does that make you guys nervous, the contestants, and knowing? Well, we're going to introduce the contestants in a second.
I'm a nicer guy. Just not tonight.
All right. And before I want to introduce the contestants, before I do, I just want to say this is the first show of our tournament series where all 8 winners from our past 8 shows will battle it out throughout the next 7 shows. And this is them. So this is exciting. And it all begins tonight, everybody. Yeah, we have the best coming out to help us judge.
That doesn't upset you with your Italian? Anyway. Because Benny's Italian.
There's a very special spotlight for the winner of this tournament. Details will be announced very soon. We are working things out, and it's going to be a huge, huge prize for these guys because they're earning it every step of the way. So congratulations.
It's a huge.
It's going to be huge. It's going to be a beautiful prize. It's going to be huge. It's going to be great. So now, without further ado, let's meet our contestants, everybody. Yes. Our first contestant went up against his best friend, Arnie Price, in his episode, and demonstrated his joke writing skills and knack for the roast battle. That's right, he killed on the roast battle. So never judge a book by its cover, because the Bruce is loose. Bruce Lipsky, everybody.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Our next contestant took on Jeff Schaefer in her episode where she showcased her fast wit, conversational style, and stinging punchlines. She is one of the hosts of Three's Company, a show that airs right here on Govs Radio. She's cool, she's calm, she's hilarious. She's Mandy Jones, everyone. Yeah.
His name is Josh Schaefer, though.
What did I say?
Jeff, and that's who you told me I was versing to. That's a totally different guy.
There's two, there's Jeff Schaefer and then there's Josh Schaefer.
This was Josh Schaefer.
But Josh Schaefer came on, battled you, did a great job. You came out on top of that one. You had what it took. We now appreciate this matchup. This is the first round. And Mandy, I just wanted to know, so since you came on our show, you were on like the second show, how much did you learn from being on the show from our judges, and how much did you take with you? And did it make you a better stand-up comedian?
Well, I mean, I took everything into consideration. I don't know how much I've done with it. It was great to have the feedback. It was really cool when you guys had me on. I felt like you guys were so nice on every time, like such nice feedback, positive, constructive criticism. Joan's like, I wasn't there. I
didn't realize I got to do that.
She's like, be nice.
Yeah, very, very comforting. And you guys made it fun.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Mandy, for that. That makes us feel good. We're going to use that for our YouTube page now.
I will reconsider my role as a judge.
And Bruce, what were some of the things you took away from the show? And how was your experience with us?
Well, I had a fabulous time. It was interesting. There's a lot of tough love, and I appreciated that because, the judges didn't pull any punches. If something wasn't right, they told me, and it made me a better comedian. Absolutely.
Good, excellent. We're going to use both of these for our website and this little thing, anecdotes to everyone to think how great we are. No, but in all honesty, it is good, and I'm hoping it's a learning curve because, especially Bruce, you come into the stand-up comedy game a little late in life, right? You're what, your 50s?
64.
64 years old, and you're starting a whole new career here in stand-up, and so
It's a good time to start.
Exactly.
He's got a lot of experience.
I appreciate the confidence
Yeah,
over there.
Forget your 20s.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't need it.
Don't blink, right?
Yeah.
What were you doing in your 20s, Bruce? Were you thinking about doing stand-up, or was it completely off the radar?
In my 20s, I barely had hair on my eyebrows. I can't even remember, honestly. No, actually, in my 20s, I was doing what I guess everybody does in their 20s, just starting out in their career. I had 25 years on Wall Street, so that kind of hardened me. So
Wow.
I think
I was
I'm-
doing drugs. I don't remember my Good for you, Bruce.
While Joan was out there doing drugs, you were working on Wall Street, and so you probably have some money. Do you want to invest any in our show?
Absolutely. Right now, I'm investing time. Let's put it
Oh,
that
there
way.
you go. Very good. Nicely done. He is fast on his feet. Bruce Lipsky.
That's a 3.
So I do also want to say to everyone, first we always start off the shows, Joan, and Joey knows this. He's been on the show 3 times now. He's a great judge. Thank you. I just want you to take a look at both of these characters we have here tonight. Both these two beautiful human beings. And just based off of first impressions, what do you think of them? As far as being a comedian? Like, do they look like they're funny? Like, what? Like,
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't wear my clown makeup.
when a comedian,
Okay,
when a comic first goes on stage, they get judged immediately.
that's true.
So, based off of that criteria, if they were to walk on stage, what would be your thoughts? Would you think, oh, she's going to be an insult comedian, or like, is there? Walk me through it, Joan. What do you see when you?
I would say that Mandy looks like she's really cool and that she's really gonna hit with the youth, and of course Bruce will be so far away from the youth movement. No,
So
Bruce, it's okay, Bruce. It's all right. That's what I like about the difference.
It's a dynamic.
Yeah, it's definitely a dynamic. Joey, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, I just said contrast. For Manny, I would think right off the bat that she looks like she's happy, has a fun life. She wants to make other people happy. She wants to use her talents and make other people smile. She's got a nice smile. Bruce, I don't think I'm going to get out of my head that you worked on Wall Street. So now looking at you right away, I just look at you as a scammer, man.
He had one of those triangle things going on.
Pyramid scheme.
Yeah, one of those schemes happening. But that brings us to the first impression thing. Kind of brings us into our first new round for this thing. It's the fan poll. We have a fan poll that's been active since noon yesterday, and
Wow.
And it's already gotten over 300 votes.
Wow.
Get outta here.
Yeah, and they've been really doing their thing out there to promote it and all of that. And it's one of the things. And in a second, Benny is going to explain to us what the fan poll is. So, you ready, Sam? And let's kick it with the fan poll.
Every comedian needs to brand and market themselves to the public in an effort to build a solid fan base. This live poll will test the comedian's ability to build a fan base and utilize social media to his or her advantage. This challenge also gives comedy fans an opportunity to voice their opinion and vote for the comedian they deem best.
That's right. So this is a pretty interesting challenge that we've added on there. It's to vote. You could please visit our Facebook page at Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up, and you could also visit Mandy Jones's page, and Bruce Lipsky has it posted on his page as well, and vote for the
Bruce
comedian.
is in MySpace, though, I think. Might have to go.
I may come over there and be in
AOL.com.
You might find Bruce on MySpace, everyone.
At the Timex Sinclair.
But I definitely want everyone to vote. Watch the show. Watch all the rounds that they go through. You can vote. And the good thing, too, is you can change your vote. So if in the beginning you're voting for one and then the other one wins you over, you can change your vote. Just a click away. Just click on their headshots when you see it. Remember, by 9 p.m. tonight, we will declare who the poll winner is, and then that person gets an extra 10 points added to their final score, so it could be the difference maker, and it's up to you, our fans.
Ooh, fans.
Back home. Yes. And also, everyone watching live right now, please make sure to comment and let us know your thoughts along the way here. And the Gagoots will read your comments if he deems them worthy. So they got to be Gagoots approved, everyone. So remember, vote for that. And on Put Up, Shut Up, Stand Up Facebook page. And also Mandy Jones, Bruce Lipsky. So now we're going to get it started. We'll do rock, paper, scissors to begin. And then the Gagoots will let us know what round one is all about. Are you guys ready for rock, paper, scissors?
Sure.
All right, let's see it.
Right. 1, 2, 3. You win.
Bruce wins. So, Bruce, what do you want? You want to start it off, or you want to give it, or you want to pass it off?
I'll start it off.
All right, so we're going to start with Bruce Lipsky. But first, Benny, tell them what round one's all about.
Round one, the drawing board. Every comedian should write their own material, and this round will test their joke writing skills like no other. Both comedians were tasked to write an original joke with a comedy premise and 5 key words that they received 24 hours prior to tonight's show. Judges give their score based on originality, creativity, style, resourcefulness, and of course, funny.
That's right. This is the joke writing skill, the joke writing challenge. So basically, we send them a premise 24 hours ago, or a little bit more than that, with this time with 5 keywords that they have to draft up a joke. So right here we have the premise is my doctor is so wrong, and the keywords are rich, dialect, wood, manager, and jewel. That's rich, dialect, wood, manager, and jewel. All right, Bruce Lipsky, let's see what you got.
My doctor is so wrong. He always talks in a rich dialect. He said, my family jewel has atrophied, and my wood has severe flaccidity. I said, can you explain that better? The office manager interrupted and said, how's this? Your balls have shrunk, and you better stock up on Viagra.
Yes! Bruce Lipsky comes through with a good joke. Very solid. So we'll deliberate and let you guys get your scores together. So Bruce, what do you think? Was it harder with the extra word? Compare this experience of this joke writing challenge with with the first show.
Well, adding an extra word makes it harder. I think the hardest part of the joke challenge is not really getting a true chance to really practice the joke and the inflections and everything, but do the best I can for what I got.
I think you did a fantastic job, and we're going to start with you, Joan St. Ange.
Bruce, you know, you need to work on your delivery, of course. That's why I gave you a 3. But, you know, and too many words. You know, your punchline is not that great, so you don't need that many words. Okay? All right.
There you go. Joan St. Ange with a 3.
All right, well, I agree with Joan, and cut the fat a little bit, you know. I gave you a 7 because I like the Viagra and the big balls. I thought that was kind of fun.
Percy likes the Viagra. Enough said.
Yeah, so I gave you a 7.
Wow. Very good.
Not bad.
Very good. Wow. So I think that's some pretty good advice on that. So, you know, sometimes less is more. And that's what I tell my fiance anyway. And so that's how we're going to move on. So now we're getting ready for Mandy Jones. Mandy, again, we'll repeat. The premise is, my doctor is so wrong, and the words are rich, dialect, wood, manager, and jewel. And whenever you're ready, Mandy Jones.
All right, so my doctor, he's so wrong. He's not native to this country, so sometimes I feel like he's using a completely different dialect. Like last time we argued, I was like, I want to see a manager. He's like, yeah, that's called a second opinion. And he has like a totally inappropriate sense of humor. Like he kept saying, his mother calls him Rich, but he insists that everyone calls him Dick. And I didn't understand when he kept saying he liked my family jewel. He's like, I like your family jewel. I like your family jewel. And I'm like, then I realized he's talking about my wedding ring. I realized. And then every time he goes to use the tongue depressor, he's like, open up for my wood.
Mandy Jones, everybody. Wow. That's what I mean about the conversational style that she has. I really enjoy that. So while we deliberate on that, Mandy, so did you enjoy that premise when you saw the premise was "My doctor is so wrong"? Were you like, yes? Or you're like, what the hell?
Well,
is
I'm
this?
reading Wood and Jewel. I'm like, this is a dick joke. And clearly Bruce went with the same thing. It's very funny. Family Jewel is what we both came up with on that one. My doctor's so wrong. And I guess that's where we went with that.
And those words are completely random. I go on randomwords.com. They literally have one. I put in the amount of words. They come up, and that's what happens. And I go first thought, best thought. I don't do it again. I don't refresh it. And sometimes they work nicely with the joke. So Joey, we'll start with you on this one. What do you think about Mandy Jones's
Okay. All right.
joke?
So first of all, I gave you a 9.
Wow.
Okay. I liked. To me, it seemed like that's a joke that you've had in your. Like you just wrote that within the last 24 hours. So it seemed you very confident, and you flowed nicely. It seemed like one of your jokes. So I gave it a 9. And,
Thanks.
yeah,
Very
I thought it was
good,
funny,
very
and
good.
it was really,
A 9.
you got right to the point. You got all the words in there, and you didn't stretch it.
Thanks.
Excellent.
I don't know. Joan's looking at me like she wants to smack me.
I give you an 8.
Oh, okay.
I
Eight.
thought it was very funny, and it wasn't. The difference, Bruce, is that you tried to make all the words work into one joke, and then she just did bit after bit after
There you
bit
go.
after bit
There you
after
go.
bit. So, and just creating, that's how you create a bit.
Yep.
Not just one joke. You go call back, boom, and and the second laugh, and the second, then the third laugh, and that's what Mandy did.
Yes.
Okay. I still love you.
Excellent. So Joan, when it comes to new comedians, because you've been in the comedy world for quite a while. When it comes to new comedians, what are some of the things you personally look for in a comedian that you say has the it factor, especially the newer ones? If you go to
Well, actually, I don't go very much to the. I don't know, the it factor. The it factor is having something to say. That's always good. You're not your regular white guy standing up there or whatever, or black guy, or whatever you are.
Right.
You have something to say and the way to do it, and that's what really is going to make you give the it factor. I remember doing East Side Comedy Club and having Gary Valentine, who's actually a pretty famous comic, but he
Yes.
came up an open mic night with, he's going to hate me, with scuba gear and flaps and clown pants and goofy wig, and I said, what the hell are you doing? And he goes, well, and I go, you know what? You have some good timing. Get rid of all that stuff.
Right,
Get
right.
rid of all. You don't need that. And of course, when I started out, I used to do stupid props, and I used to do impressions of
Really?
women's purses.
You did impressions of women's purses.
Purses.
You did impersonations.
It was terrible, and then I had to drag this cart with me everywhere I go, and I go, oh, this is terrible. So I stopped doing that, and I give that advice to everybody. You have a point of view. That's the good.
And with the it factor, though, do you think the it factor could be taught or learned, or is it something that you either have it or you don't have it, or can it be obtained?
Joey?
Well, Joan, first of all, you know better than me. I mean, I've heard your name for 30 years. I finally got to meet you. It's an honor to meet Joan St. Ange.
Yes.
It really is.
I'm
And to sit side
I'm
by
really
side with
old.
you, I mean, what I'm going to say is probably completely wrong.
Well,
I would say the it factor is being confident, not being too wordy, and like you said, being different than other comics.
Being different.
Yeah, being different, having a story. Take a story that's something that happened at home and just punch it up a little bit. That's what I do. Like things that actually happen in my house. I bring it to the stage and I throw some jokes into it. And then I go home. My wife wants to kill me because my personal stuff's out there.
What I love about your stuff, Joey, is it comes from a different place. Like he has a joke, Joan and everyone, where he says, "Oh, it was garbage day the other day, so I went outside and I found myself a new couch."
Right.
So right there is a different take on
Exactly.
right, which I love it. And then he says, "I brought the couch in, and then a mouse came out of it." But my kids loved it, so we kept the mouse. But you know how these wild mice are. A couple days later, it died. So then I had to go get a new couch. No, I wait till next garbage day to get a new.
My kids were begging me to get it.
Don't you love when somebody else
messes
does
up
your
his joke.
return?
I know. I didn't even want to say this joke as I'm saying it. That's why I was overthinking
Hey,
it.
hey, John, do some Chris Rock.
I hate white people. Never see so white people.
The truth about that joke and most of my jokes and the fact that I should have moved on with my life, but I still have the mind of a child, and that's how I grew up. I grew up in a house where we actually went out. We needed a couch. We went out and drove around, found a couch.
Right.
And that was real stuff.
That's true.
And here I am, an adult, and we have money, and my wife works and I work, and I'm still looking for secondhand stuff on garbage night. And my son's first bike, I got on garbage night.
Right.
And I shouldn't have done that because now he's 17 years old, and I'm like, I feel guilty. I could have bought him a bike, but I found him a bike with a wobbly wheel, and I'm like, I don't know why, man, but
To me, that take on it, that look of life that you have, and you don't see it often in stand up. I think it's awesome, man, and I love it. You have a lot of jokes that are like that, and I'll let you tell the rest of your own jokes.
And John's going to do 35 minutes of Joey.
I'm tired, I tell you.
You guys weren't even born, except for Bruce, when I did stand up. So that's good.
I do remember seeing you on the Flyers though on Newsday. I remember your headshot and everything, and you were right there.
in the Flyers.
Bob Nelson, Jerry Seinfeld, Ray Romano, and Joan St. Onge. I remember it like clear as day.
I was the only chick. When Rosie O'Donnell left, I was the only girl. Yeah.
Even then, even when she was around, you still kind of were the only girl. That did not. That was the joke. Was not
lesbian.
That joke was not Joan St. Onge approved, folks.
Wait, let me give you a score. Yeah.
So
Come on.
do you have a second? I heard that you opened up for scene.
did what?
Jerry Seinfeld. You opened up for Jerry Seinfeld?
I've done work with Jerry Seinfeld. Mean guy. I didn't think he was very. I didn't think he was very nice. I opened up for Heart, which was like the weirdest thing I've ever done.
Heart.
Very nice.
So you were also, when the comedy club boom started happening on Long Island, you were part of all of that, right?
Yes, but I was not here. I moved from Colorado. I was a stand-up from Colorado and moved here in '84.
Very cool.
Because of Rider PI. Have you ever heard of Rider PI?
I have.
Okay, it's the movie that Bob Nelson and Dave Hawthorne and everybody who is on Long Island, including Howard Stern, his first movie, did it. And I auditioned and got a part. And I thought, oh my God. So I'm in Denver going, I'm sorry. I gotta move to New York because I got a movie role. I know it doesn't pay, and nobody ever saw this movie. That's why I moved here.
Well,
1984.
Well, we're glad you did because you helped definitely get the scene going back in that time.
Yes.
And through the years, I think the scene has had ebbs and flows, but I feel like it's really strong again.
Yeah.
And I know you say you don't go to the clubs that often, but do you get a sense of the comedy in general, stand-up, really being strong again?
Well, I always enjoy it. I never have a bad time. So even if I don't know the person, it's really fun. It's always fun to see live entertainment instead of seeing somebody in front of a brick wall in the 1996, which was probably me. I rolled up my sleeves back then.
Oh wow!
And a blazer, just like everybody else.
Yeah, that's awesome. So now, how are you guys feeling so far within the competition? Are you feeling good? I know we got some. You know the judges now are for real. That we're here in this round 2 of this whole thing, round 1 of this tournament, and your second show here. So it's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little scary. I mean, some of it's up to the crowd. I still don't know. We don't know what premise pressure you guys are going to throw at us. The wheel I haven't done yet. I haven't gone against the Gagoots.
Yeah.
We got a long way to go.
We got a long way to go. We got 4 more rounds in front of us of comedy fun, Joan.
Yeah, this is a 2-hour special, Joan.
I didn't realize. That's why you provide free water.
Yeah, we got water and we got candy canes here. I brought these candy canes for my friends at Knock 'em Dead Comedy. They have this at every show. So Eric, Tony, and Sally, cheers to you. But also,
Make them?
well, they have the mug here. It's just one of their props they use for all of their shows. But I the next round is premise pressure, where we take different premises and throw them at them. And it's probably, to me, one of the more difficult of the rounds that we do. Joe, you've seen this in action a few times. What do you think about premise pressure? Try to explain it to Joan a little bit, what we do.
Premise pressure is a
Say
word.
that 5 times. Really.
I couldn't even say put up, shut up, and stand up. I got it though. He's like, "Can you introduce the show?" And I'm like, "We're live from Governor's Comedy Club. It's put up."
Shut up. Sit
And I-
down.
yeah, shut
Get
up.
out of my seat.
So that's the when we give them the premise.
Oh, okay.
So it shows you how quick they are on their feet. Really, I mean that's and how fast they can think and get a joke out there.
Yeah, I mean, what we do basically,
Which is like an improv type thing, right? I mean,
Yes, it's definitely improv. Although improv, you can work hard to develop the last line as opposed to a joke where you have to go bum bum.
Right,
You don't have someone going freeze. They tap you out.
Oh,
and
like
finish
improv.
the joke for you.
Well, we're getting ready now for premise pressure. You guys, how do you prepare for this, Bruce? Do you have any secrets to preparing for the potential premises that might come your way?
It's pretty hard to do that, but if you can just look at what life has brought you, hopefully you can bring some of those things into the joke. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I think you're definitely going to do great. You went first on the joke writing challenge, so Mandy, you will start off the premise pressure. Okay. But before we do that, Benny, tell them what premise pressure is all about, please.
Comedy, I certainly will, Don. Comedy can certainly throw a lot of curveballs, and sometimes you have to think quick on your feet. So round 2, premise pressure, we will see how fast these comedians are with a variety of comedy premises. Each comedian will be given a variety of comedy premises and must fire off a hilarious punchline with each premise that they are given. They will have 2 minutes on the clock.
All right.
And okay, let's go.
So all right, all right, everybody. So premise pressure. Mandy, are you ready? We're going to put 2 minutes on the clock for this one. Let me just get it all set and ready to go. Yeah. So you can start with these, and then we have some generic ones if she keeps going. Oh. So we're judging on their punchlines and on how many they're able to get through, and just the delivery and all that fun stuff. All right, here we go with 2 minutes on the clock. Ready, set, pressure time.
How about a joke about beauty pageants?
Oh, I actually have a joke about beauty pageants. I always say that I'm going to start doing beauty pageants. I think I'd be good. I think I could win. I'm going to represent states like Misdirected Anger and Misinformed and Misdemeanor. It was one time.
Google.
Oh, Google. I love Google. You could be fucked up beyond all recognition. You spell every word incorrectly. Google's like, did you mean Life is Just a Ride by Bill Hicks? Thank you, Google. That's exactly what I meant.
How about having children?
Well, me and my husband, we talk a lot about having kids, and we, if we ever do, they're complete fucking accidents. I think there's plenty of kids on this earth that need love. I would adopt or foster a kid in a heartbeat, Plus, if you don't create the kid, you don't have to save it, So you can always hang that over their heads, like, I saved your ass.
Driver's license.
I went to get my driver's license, and I hand the guy my ID, and he goes, ooh, organ donor. I go, not yet.
What about eating healthy?
I've been trying to eat healthy recently, and I've been dealing with it. You ever deal with alfalfa sprouts? You feel like you're packing an Easter basket. I'm like, what is this, the tinsel of fucking vegetables? It's very strange.
Disney.
Oh man. All right. Well, I didn't really grow up like a Disney princess. My dad taught me to drive fast and take chances. He would give us matches and encourage us to go play in traffic. So not really Disney princess material.
Exercise.
Exercise. It's the new year. I'm gonna try to start, being a little more productive.
And
Yeah, I got nothing. I got nothing.
You did a lot of jokes, though, Mandy.
Andy Jones with Premise
Yeah,
Pressure
you
did a
a lot of
fantastic
jokes,
job.
Thanks, guys.
All right, so I'll let the judges deliberate, figure out what they're going to score you on. And then, but Mandy, wow, it must be, that's like the hump, right, of all the rounds?
Yeah. Well, it was funny because you said, do you want us to do some extra stuff that we know you might have, or do you want to go with all random stuff? I go, no, I like the ideas you gave us. You go, that's a different round.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
joke wheel.
We have the joke wheel coming up.
You can't prepare for this, Mandy. I'm like, oh shit, there's 5 rounds. Yeah, so definitely a little scary. You guys put me on the spot, but it's fun.
Excellent. And we'll start. Joan, what did you think about her Premise Pressure? She handled it well.
I gave her a 9.
Wow.
I mean, I would have gone 10, but I don't give anybody. You know what I mean? You gotta be.
Wow.
But I thought you were wonderful. You made me laugh. You were really quick. There's nothing wrong with you, Mandy.
You don't know me very well, Joan.
in comedy, and I'm a big fan. I'm a big
thank
fan.
you, thank
all
you.
right? Not that I don't love Bruce and his
Oh,
sexy lips.
Oh boy.
Lip
Oh
skis.
boy.
His
Okay.
lip skis do me. Okay, go ahead.
All right, so I gave Mandy a 10, and I got
Wow.
Sweet.
you never give away a 10. So that's. To me, it seemed like those were pre-written jokes. I mean, you flowed very nicely. You didn't stutter. You didn't hesitate. I just thought that they were pre-written jokes, and it made it even funnier knowing that that these were being thrown at you right here and there. So I thought it was great. I really did.
Excellent.
Beautiful.
Mandy Jones. Now, Bruce, when you see Mandy and how she tackled on the Premise Pressure, does it make you get a little nervous, or how are you feeling right now, buddy?
Well, I got double premise pressure right now, I guess. That's okay.
I think you're going to do great, Bruce. I just want you to just breathe a little bit. You're going to do great. Remember, there's a couple thousand people watching right now, so don't be too nervous. I wish there was a couple thousand. Yeah, I don't know what the ticker is saying right now. It's probably 10 or 11. But in any case, we want your comments, too. Let us know what you think about Mandy and Bruce as they do one of the hardest rounds here on the show, which is this Premise Pressure. Right. So now we're getting ready again. We got some specific for Bruce and the generic ones, and we're going to start off in 3, 2, 1. Premise time.
My mechanic.
I tell you, my mechanic, I feel he's ripping me off. The other day, I brought my vehicle in for service, and he handed me a bill. Oil change, brakes adjusted, 4-wheel tire alignment. I said, wait a second, this doesn't seem right. He says, what's wrong with the bill? I said, I drive a motorcycle.
Mattress shopping.
My wife goes crazy on Amazon. The other day, a mattress arrived on my front porch. It was one of those foam mattresses. At first, I said to my wife, what are you buying the mattress for? You should be going to the shop and laying on sleepies and testing out the Posturepedics. She says, oh, I got a great price on it. So I said, oh, let me check out this foam mattress. This mattress was great. It had better memory than I do.
Wine for dinner.
Okay. I just got a dog, a new dog, and I taught him how to deliver me a glass of red wine. It was one of those special dogs. It was a Bordeaux Collie.
Use a pun. Okay. Bruce, secret to marriage.
Okay. Secret of marriage, in my opinion, is just, deal with the obvious. My wife seems to always be playing with me. The other day, I asked her to get me some items at the store. And I said, can you get me some peanut butter? A regular peanut butter. And I said, can I get some regular orange juice? She came back with peanut butter with crunchy peanut butter. And she came back with orange juice with pulp in it. And I said, also, honey, I got hemorrhoids. Can you get me some Preparation H? And she came back with Tabasco sauce.
And we are at the time. Bruce Lipsky, everyone.
All right.
Took on Premise Pressure. All right, so Bruce, how you feeling about that?
Well, as I said, a little nerve-wracking. I'm up against a great opponent over here, and but I can only do my best. That's all.
No, you're doing great, Bruce, and I love to see you doing this. I think it's definitely a lot of fun. You seem to be having fun doing it.
Absolutely.
And now we're going to go to our judges and see what they think. So Joey Petroni, What do you think about Bruce Lipsky?
Well, first of all, real quick, likability is a big part of being a comedian, and you're definitely a likable guy. I'm pulling for you 100%. I
Yes.
gave you a 7, a little too wordy, funny, a little too wordy. You cut some of the fat out and get right to the punch. The Tabasco sauce was great. Just
Seems
a little
to be
too long to get to the.
Seems
to
to be a
left.
common theme.
But no, very, very
And
funny.
the phone memory. If you would have got that phone memory punch a little quicker too, I
Yeah.
think.
No, I agree with Joe. You're really, really personable, and I think you've got a really good act to develop. You've got a niche that people. I gave you a 6, baby. I thought you did a really
Thank
good
you.
job. Okay.
I love it. Thank you.
Can I add? You got a great look too. I mean, really on
Thank
stage,
you.
you got that. You got a.
Well,
look
I don't know.
I think it's a good look for people to listen and.
But look at you.
I think you should use your age and your look to your advantage.
Absolutely,
And
especially the tie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a chicken.
Just
tie.
go out with a tie. That's it.
just go up old school. Do old school 1-2
Yeah.
punch
Yeah.
jokes. Punchline set up. Boom, boom, boom.
Nobody does it.
Yeah.
Nobody does it anymore. I mean, that Rodney Dangerfield thing, you could actually do that.
Yeah.
You could have that. My wife, I'm living on Long Island, I'm 64, everything hurts. That kind of thing.
Don't forget to leave your name and address so I can.
And you got like a calm demeanor, which is like kind of almost like a Henny Youngman vibe. I think I told you that the last time. And I do think that you definitely got something going on there. You just got to craft it up. And you've been doing it a couple of years now.
Not even really.
Yeah. Very good.
I would like to say you got years, Bruce, but I don't think so. No.
I'd like to say I have hair too.
You have years and years to work
You
on
have
your
to develop now, Bruce.
What do you guys think about comedy competitions like this? Because some people seem to be on the fence. Some people think it's great. Some people think that it's not a good thing. What is your take on comedy competitions like this show? Which to me, this is not American Idol. This is like game night at your friend's house type of thing.
It's not American Idol.
I think the key word is fun. Yeah.
I was going to do Mandy. I think you're fantastic. Bruce, you need to. No.
But what are your thoughts on competitions in general? Whether any kind of hey, Olga Namer, hello, Olga. But let us know about comedy competitions in general. What are your thoughts on them? Do you have any
I wouldn't want to be in one.
But are they good for the comics? Are they good for the cause?
It's like improvisation. It keeps you sharp. Anything that you can do, especially when you're doing. I'm sorry, Joey, but when you do comedy, you have to do it all the time. You can't just do it once a week and then do it. Oh, I got a gig in 2 weeks, and you have to do it all the time, or else you're not gonna. And this is part of it. This is part of the honing and making it sharp. The more you do it, the better you get.
Excellent. Now, back in the Star Search days, did you ever do Star Search? Are you friends with Steve Oach and all that?
Yeah, I knew all that. I did not do Star Search because I was dirty. I'm not going to do Star Search, but I do remember Rosie O'Donnell coming in saying, "I won Star Search," and she didn't. Really fun. Bye, everybody. I'm sorry. I love Ed McMahon loves me. I won Star Search, and then you're going, she didn't win Star Search.
Yeah, Sinbad won it, I think. No,
I don't know who won
I forget
it
who
at
won
that
that year.
time, but it's kind of silly because, and this is great, but to watch two comedians that are completely different and to judge them is very difficult, I would think.
I agree with that.
Yeah, and Joey was on just recently on America's Got Talent too.
Really? How was that?
It's it's stressful. Even years of doing stand up, it's stressful because.
How many minutes did you get? Did you get like 30 seconds?
yeah,
Hey,
nine-
I'm dead. Bye.
90 seconds. 90
90
seconds.
Wow, it
seconds.
could be 90
So
seconds.
that's where you gotta cut the fat. I mean, in a situation like that, you gotta cut the fat. So
I know, but you want to. Here's
I was
the
doing all
thing.
punchlines.
But,
like,
but you also want America to know who you are, so there's
Right.
some build-up you have to do.
Right.
So do you cut the build-up about what your personality
Right,
is,
right,
or
right.
do you go right to the joke?
Right.
That would be the hardest thing.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And I've known professionals on Star Search that missed a word and then completely fell apart.
Right.
Professionals completely fell apart after to do 2 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
The pressure gets
I
to
won't
them.
say their names.
Yeah, when you're being timed 90 seconds, I mean, you
90
really got to
seconds.
be, before you even go on, you have to know you're only going to do like 3 jokes. Or you're going to rush it, nobody's going to understand what the heck
But
you're
as
saying.
an actor, I know that I have a minute to audition, so that's kind of different, I think, as an actor.
What's more nerve-wracking, going to an audition when you got 3 producers standing there, or going on stage in front of potentially hundreds of people, or if you're really known, thousands. But at a club like this, a couple hundred people, is that more nerve-wracking than going in doing reading a script? For
Hey,
a
listen,
director?
you ask anybody, and their major fear is going up in front of people. So, and stand up. I can't tell you how many people go, I could never do that. I could never do it. And that's right. And you go, no, good, because I don't want you to.
Right. That's just, we want
I don't want you. If you can't do it, don't do it. I don't want you to do it. Or think that you can do it, because it's hard.
And Bruce, you missed all this. You're on Wall Street. You could have been a part
Yes.
of all this.
Well, I saw enough comedians on Wall
Yeah.
Street. That's for sure.
Nicely done.
You were hanging out with hookers and doing that. I saw Wolf of Wall Street.
He was living the lifestyle, but in a different way.
Exactly.
The Bruce of Wall Street.
On
Yes.
Wall Street. Very nice.
He got all the
Nice.
perks of being a comic. but-
Exactly. My motto is no brag, just fact. What can I say?
There you go. I don't know what that means.
All brag, no fact, just facts. But speaking of facts and bragging, Bruce, when you're working on your bits and you're coming up with your premises, how do the jokes come to you?
Well, again, usually it's what I've experienced. Joey said it before, too. I may have not gone for the couch on the street, but I've got the mother-in-law, the mother, the parents in Florida, with the early bird specials and the complaining and so on and so forth. So, it's life,
And are you guys, Mandy, are you getting the stage time like Joan says a comedian needs? Do you guys feel like there's enough outlets and on Long Island, and are you taking advantage of them all?
There's a huge comedy scene on Long Island, and there's probably maybe 200-300 comics, and it's actually very competitive out here. I had no idea it's something underground, and then once you get into it, you realize everybody and their brother is a comic, and everyone wants stage time. And
Oh,
me
man,
and
you
Bruce,
should have been in the early 90s. You'd get into a cab and he goes, I'm a stand-up too. And you're going, what the? You dry cleaner. I stand up too. And he goes, stop. Stop being a stand-up.
but yeah, it's hard to get people out. It's a good time though.
Because you have bringer shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and even if you're just promoting, they want to make sure that you have some friends. I think sometimes I get picked just because they're like, is your husband coming? I'm like, he's got to work tonight, you greedy.
He's a big laugher, but come on.
They just know he's a warm body.
There you go.
Fill a
go.
chair, So, it's all good.
So what do you guys, in your brief time doing this, what do you think you need to do to start to really move forward in this industry? Besides being on Put Up, Shut Up, Stand Up, by the way. Saturday nights, baby. No, but what do you guys think? What's your plan? What's the game plan for moving forward, moving up?
Well, one of my goals for this year, for the new year, just as an individual and then as a comic, I want to read more because I'm like, there's so much material and there's so much jokes. And my husband's like, well, history's not funny. I'm like, yeah, but if you find something funny about history and you bring them through history
Everything's
with you,
funny.
everything
Yes.
is funny.
Everything's fine.
You just have to present it the right way. So I do want to read more, get bigger vocabulary, more words, and more topics to joke about.
The more detail you can bring into a joke, the funnier it is.
Yeah. Yep.
Instead of saying China, if you said Waterford, China, you know what I'm telling?
Right.
That boom, boom.
Yep.
That is funnier. The more details
Yes.
you can put around the joke without words,
That's
Yeah.
exactly
but
what I say.
details,
Yes.
Yeah.
then it's funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Bruce, what is your plan? I mean, are you hitting the stages? What do you got going on as far as this?
I've been doing some open mics, which, it's good just to get out there, just to meet other comedians. But my big thing is trying to write more. But as I've been told, less is more, basically.
Yeah, less is
And I'm learning some good things
Do you
tonight.
tape yourself?
Yes, yes. And thankfully, my wife is actually a very good critic. Obviously, she is not a comedian, but at least she'll tell me right out if I'm if I basically sucked or I'm good, and you know.
You need someone with an honest opinion, or else
Right.
you're going out with hack stuff, though.
Yeah,
You need
exactly.
someone, you know, my husband's a critic, too, and it's,
Right.
I thank him for that, because
Right.
he's not like, oh, that's funny, go say that in front of strangers.
Your spouses are the hardest, okay?
Yes.
This just happened the other day. My wife won't laugh at anything I say. So, a long story short, there was a post on Facebook, and it was about a taco place in the neighborhood. And people were saying that, have you been to taco, whatever? Nobody smiles. Nobody's happy there. Nobody's this. Nobody's that. And they were bashing Taco Joe's, I'll say it. They were bashing Taco Joe's. And so I posted on the site, you know, I noticed that my garbage men don't nod when I wave to them, you know, and I know one guy's holding his nose, and I wrote a joke about it.
Yeah.
And when I gave it to my wife to read it, she thought my friend Anthony wrote it. She was hysterical
Oh, my
laughing.
God.
And that's out of her character. So I said, I wrote it. All of a sudden, she's like, you're a jerk. It's only funny if someone else says it. Like I could,
Yeah.
yeah. It's the same thing with stuff around the house. I mean, if I hang a TV up, you know, if I say Tom help me across the street because Tom does that,
Oh, yeah.
then it's
even.
perfect. But if I say I hung up by myself, it's, you know, she'll get a measuring tape out and fix it. So
Husbands
So
are
spouses-
never funny.
the bottom line is spouses are very hard to
Right,
in comedy, especially comedy. They're not gonna.
But I just appreciate realistic feedback. You know, I don't mind constructive criticism
Right.
because, you know, sometimes it hurts, but at the end of the day, I know I'm going to be better for it, you know.
I think both of you guys are doing great and kicking
Yeah.
butt here on Premise Pressure. We just had our third judge, Nigel Fullerton, has just
Oh,
showed up.
thank you for
Yes.
letting me be here.
Yes, we appreciate it.
I'm dressed like I'm at a funeral, but like for a basketball player.
You stand right over there so
Oh,
so the
sorry.
folks at home can see you. Yeah,
Oh, so the folk.
Yeah, you can get you right.
Oh,
out
do
there.
this
You should-
again?
Is he on camera now?
No, he has to go a little bit lower.
Oh, look,
yeah, yeah.
now I gotta go lower.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, it's not gonna happen.
Do some squats.
It's not gonna work.
Nigel Fullerton is a comedian extraordinaire, an actor.
Oh,
He's been
thank
on
you.
Netflix's Roxanne. He
Oh,
played
yeah.
Biz Markie, the rapper,
Yeah.
and he also played Biggie Smalls, the rapper, in
Oh, yeah,
Fox's
Who shot Biggie and
Who
Tupac?
Shot Biggie and Tupac. So Nigel Fullerton.
And I've also been seen at a Wu-Tang concert with Mandy Jones.
Wow, Mandy Jones at the Wu-Tang.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Was she like on your shoulders during that? Getting like the prime seat of the stage.
Very few people know that I also played Biggie in a Lifetime movie.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad you're here, Nigel. I don't know if we can have you start scoring now.
No, it's okay.
But definitely hang out and enjoy the conversation and all that kind of stuff. But we appreciate you coming down. I know you had some stuff go on.
Yeah, had some stuff going on. Sorry, people.
Yeah, man. Hey, family first. Always family first.
Yeah.
He had to do something with his mom. So it's all good in the hood. And I only say that when Nigel's here. So I do want to say I'll go to our sponsor really quick. I'll do our sponsor read. It's Island Ice Hockey. Island Ice Hockey by MHL. From weekday to weekend, from novice to experience, from 16 years old to 60-plus years old. That's you, Bruce. Island Ice Hockey has a team for everyone. Sign up at islandicehockey.com or call 631-262-0543 for more information. That's Island Ice Hockey. All right. Now we're back. We're going to get ready for the Gagoots. Joan, I know you've been friends with the Gagoots for quite a while.
Well, I've only admitted for the past 3 years.
And have you seen the Gagoots in action? Are you a fan of the
I
Gagoots?
actually have done some with the Gagoots itself. I've watched him cook. I've watched him do all his Gagootsian stuff.
Gagoots.
He's funny.
Yeah, he is. He is now our insult comic, and I will read the round. Are you ready, Sam? And hit it. When performing stand-up comedy, comedians should know how to handle hecklers and be able to roast a person at the drop of a dime. So this round, these comedians will have to face off and trade insults with the Gagoots for 3 whole minutes. This will test each comedian's, sit over here, Bruce. This will test each comedian's roasting skills and sharp comebacks. All right, here we go. The Gagoots is here.
I'm here. I'm ready to start cooking some stew over here.
His mustache fell off.
That's what she said.
Hey, Gagoot, so what have you done to prepare for Bruce, man? I mean, do you look? Last time I remember he shook you up a bit, and we didn't think that Bruce had it in him to be such a roaster.
He wasn't so smart. He was too smart. I'm a smack at his side of his head. One of my uncle used to call a scotabinga right on the side of your head.
Scotabinga.
I give him a scotabinga, but I tell you, I cook something nicer for you so you can take your teeth out and enjoy.
Oh! now, Bruce, you took him on last time around. You did a great job versus the Gagoots. This time around, what was your strategy? Did you like say, okay, I have to now rewrite a whole ton of jokes against the Gagoots?
Well, yes, because I know that he's the main man over here, and I'm surprised I did so well against him. So I'm just trying to write a few more, and hopefully we can get through it and have the same result.
Has anybody beat the Gagoots?
Well, you saw last week your buddy comedian, Marquise comedian, tapped out.
He tapped out.
He was the first one ever.
That was
tapped out.
hilarious.
I smoked at his age.
That was hilarious.
But there's been some guys that have went toe to toe with Benny, and it's hard to ever declare a clear cut winner sometimes. But I bet the Gagoots always comes out on top. I think in the end. But I think Bruce
Just like a mozzarella.
Oh my God!
Always come out on the top.
He always looks like the oldest Mario brother. He looks like the guy on the Italian Ice thing. You know, like the Mario.
I'm gonna make a rotisserie Nigel Fullerton. Shut your mouth.
All right, is everybody ready? I'm gonna put 3 minutes on the clock. This is 3 minutes. Are you ready? Are you ready, Bruce?
Yes, I am.
Are you ready, Gagoots?
I'm ready.
And let's roast.
Bruce Lipsky. Where I come from, Lipsky is a term for somebody who gives head at a ski resort.
Oh, Gagoots, I love what you done to your hair. How did you get it to come out of your nostrils like that?
Hey, we've been to the same website. I tell you that. That's some tie you're wearing over there. I know you like the joke of the chicken, but do you have to advertise?
If I had a face like yours, I'd sue my parents.
If you were on fire and I had water, I'd drink it.
I'm jealous of people that don't know you.
Bruce, I was hoping for a battle of wits, but you appear to be unarmed.
You're so ugly, you scared the crap out of the toilet.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that. I don't speak idiot.
You're the reason the gene pool needs a lifeguard.
Your gene pool needs more chlorine.
I've seen people like you, but I had to pay admission.
Oh, God. You're so ugly that when you look in the mirror, your reflection looks the other way. Look the other way. Look. I got to practice my broken English. The broken English is not too good tonight.
The last time I saw something like you, I flushed it.
Oh! I thought of you today, Bruce. Then I remembered I had to throw out the garbage.
Why don't you slip into something more comfortable, like a coma?
Oh, wow.
Look, you drove in here on a coffin and you're talking to me like that? I bet when you go to the beach and you lie on your back, they yell, "Shark! Sand shark!" Son of a, look at that schnozzle on this guy. Holy crap. I bet you're the reason there's no more cocaine in Colombia. You son of a bitch. You son of a
Don't you just love nature despite what it did to you?
Oh, the stash goes down. The stash goes down.
Down goes mustache.
If I wanted to kill myself, Bruce, I'd climb to your ego and jump off.
Gagoots, you're listed in Who's Who as What's That?
I'm telling you, this guy stole the jokes that I stole. That's a real Siciliano thing. He did it to me. Okay. I don't know. Oh. No, I got it.
He's going through his notes.
No. All the humans, they sprung from apes, but you didn't spring it too far.
Gucci, you're so stupid. You tripped over a you tripped over a cordless phone.
You know, Bruce, I would ask you how old you are, but I know you really can't count it that high. That's 64. You're full of shit. 64.
Gucci, you're so stupid. It takes you 2 hours to watch 60 Minutes.
Time, everybody.
All right.
The roast battle.
Hey.
Good job, Gucci.
All right, good stuff. Good stuff, Bruce.
Hey, John looks like she's not too happy with my jokes.
Oh my God. It came from.
I liked him in the 30s.
Not when you were 30, though.
Oh man.
Bruce, how you feeling after that, Bruce?
Good. You know, it's not easy. You know, trying to stay up with him. You know, but that's why I'm here.
Nigel, you're a roast battler. What do you think of this one?
Oh man, you guys got it from the same Milton Berle book. Jesus Christ, my private joke collection, whatever it was called. Oh my goodness. It's lovely to see people from the home do talent night. It really is.
I wrote the tie joke.
I know you did. I heard it.
John, what do you think of that? Was that?
Well, I couldn't possibly do it because I'm not mean.
Yeah.
No, I could have done it.
Let's call up that Valentine kid and see what he got to say. Yeah. Kevin James hates the both of us for a show that 5 people watch.
He hates us. He hates us.
What did you score, Bruce, on this one?
Oh, I was supposed to score.
Yeah.
Could you go to Joey?
We'll go to
please?
Joey.
Yeah, go to
Joey.
I didn't score it.
This was quite the roast battle. These guys going back and forth with their insults. What do you think, Joey? How did he do?
I thought Bruce did very, very good. Not excellent. I gave him an 8.
8 is good. That's a good score.
There's a lot of things when I'm sitting over here and I watch, and one of them is he wasn't he wasn't offended. He was laughing the whole time. He was laughing at his own jokes.
Right.
And again, that's awesome. I mean, you weren't thrown off really. He didn't throw you off. You kept going. And the whole object of being heckled is to be thrown off your game. And I didn't see you get thrown off. I saw you laughing and coming back with a laugh, and pretty good. You stumbled on a few words there, with the cordless phone, or whatever. But other than that, I thought you did pretty good.
Excellent. And 8 from Joey Petroni. What do you think, Joan?
Well, I gave him a 9 because
Oh.
I like to be above. But Benny gets a 2
Wow!
Oh man.
because you've done this a lot, Benny, and you should be better.
That's not his age.
And the
That's not his
mustache.
age,
The mustache has
92,
got to
is
stay
it?
on,
Oh,
man.
You got a 92.
And Nigel, I know you can't score because you came in late to the game, but who do you think won? What's your 2 cents on this whole thing?
I think because you made his mustache fall off, I think you're the winner.
I love the mustache.
So we'll have these two switch places, and while we do that, we'll
Okay.
talk to you guys really quick. So,
shit.
how often does comedians really need these have these comebacks and face these kind of challenges? Would you guys say? It doesn't happen that much, right?
No, not really. Not much. I mean, ever since I got the biker jacket and the no, I really not that often. Not that often. And a lot of times for me personally, I ignore it unless he comes back 2 or 3 times. Then you got something. But you can just turn around and talk to someone else. That's what I do. That's how I handle it.
Oh, is this you're talking about a heckler? Or
A
something?
heckler when you're up on stage. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get it doesn't get that bad.
Let me tell you one thing. Women are the worst.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Especially drunk.
Because you can humiliate men.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot to humiliate a woman, and she won't shut up.
Well, that's when they're
My
talking.
experience.
Yeah, when they're
My
talking through your set, that's different.
But I
If
had
it's a bachelorette party.
I had a guy try to stab me after a show, so that was always.
I've never had anybody with a knife. Probably I've gotten bread thrown at me.
Yeah.
I've got, not
what
a
do you
knife.
think's worse than heckling? Do you think dead silence is worse? Like there's 2 different things
you know
up
what's
there.
worse to me is the fake laugh, like
The wise guy.
like a
yeah. Or they tell you punchlines. They see it coming. Stuff like that.
Oh yeah. But you got to tell us more about this knife story.
Oh yeah,
We can't just let that go.
Jacksonville, Florida.
Wow.
It was, first of all, it was 1982.
Wow.
And
Nice.
it was, they had, to bring people in, they had a men's night. Now, first of all, that's a horrible idea. Ladies bring men in, but men just hang around bitter and drinking.
Oh my
And
goodness.
here,
Good vibe.
here's this little girl that comes up, and I'm from the north or whatever, and they hated me. So I don't know if I could do this, but I said, he was like this, and I go, oh, well, you have a lot in common with Oedipus Rex, because you're both stupid motherfuckers. And he went, what? And they kicked him out. And then I get out of the parking lot, and he tries to attack me.
Wow.
But the bartender when I was with, he takes off his cowboy boot and smashes the guy. And he is, yeah. So
Wow.
I actually took my money and ran from that.
Wow. Wow. Well, that's pretty crazy. And
Yeah.
you live to tell the tale.
I
Yeah.
loved it, yeah.
We
That was
Yeah.
82, the knife year.
Yeah.
That's not a knife. This is a
That's
knife.
a knife. Yeah.
Do you know who I was working with?
Who?
Bill Hicks.
Oh, God,
no
Bill
shit.
Hicks.
Wow.
He didn't do shit.
He's a
did
sane
not
man.
He just
He
watched
did not help. He
his
did
car.
not help at all. He was like, well, Joe, it's wild.
He almost got
funny.
to you, Joe.
He almost got you.
It's just a ride. It's just a ride.
That's hilarious.
All right. So now.
I got something to say first.
Yes.
No, this is nice. I got a lot of people watching. We got a lady, nicer lady from Scotland.
Oh,
She's
Scotland.
watching the show. She
Hello.
must have insomnia.
Very good.
Paulina McClemante.
Very nice.
McClemant.
Paulina-
Not Clement, not like Del Monte.
Not like Del Monte.
Clement. McClement.
Hello, Scotland.
McClimate.
Very nice. Very nice.
Hello,
Let-
Scotland.
Let us know
Hello,
what you
Scotland.
think of our contestants right now and what you
Andrew
think of Mandy Jones.
Plagiamos, whatever. it is.
Legina.
Oh, Andrew
Yeah.
Plagianos?
He's on, and he says, my goal is to kill somebody in a justifiable manner and ride that stardom wave. So I guess he wants to perform in prison for the rest of his life.
Maybe that was him in 1982.
Yeah, that might have
It's
been
good
him.
to have a goal.
Taz, the residential artist, is watching.
Oh, hello, Taz.
Hey, Taz.
How are you? Yes.
A lot of people is watching tonight.
Very good, very good.
We got a Scotland, we got a Florida.
We got a lot of people
got
from
a-
all over.
You got
watching.
Scotland and Florida.
Two of the great comedy
Oh my
meccas.
God!
We got
Do we have Meghan Markle also? Is she watching too?
We have
Prince
Agnes at
Henry?
4:30.
We're going to definitely be reading off some more comments.
We got a Meghan Markle's
Very soon.
half sisters watching this show right now.
Yes, everyone, keep the comments coming. Make sure you go on Put Up, Shut Up, Stand Up Facebook page and vote if you haven't already for Mandy Jones and Bruce Lipsky. But we are now getting ready for Mandy Jones.
this go
And yes, she goes. Well, she's got her insult.
Oh,
battle.
Mandy has me.
Mandy.
Okay. All righty. All right.
Are you ready, Mandy Jones?
I am.
Yeah.
Let me get the clock ready. And is everybody ready?
You want to start?
Whatever,
Go
you
ahead.
go
No,
first.
ladies are first.
All right, ladies first on this one. You could throw the first rock at
Okay.
Benny. And 3, 2, 1, roast.
All right, well, it's nice meeting you in person, but you're so short. What do you keep a stool by the top oven to get the pizza in and out?
You're about a half an inch taller than me. What are you kidding? That hairstyle you got makes you look like a blonde Sonic the Hedgehog.
And what's with this getup? I bet you use jar sauce.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Oh my God!
God, son.
That was a fighting word.
That's the worst thing. I'd rather lick a rectum than to drink it. You kidding me? You look like a 12-year-old boy with a vagina.
You should know what that looks like.
Oh!
Exactly.
The last time you went pole dancing, you were the pole.
And like last time you weren't here because you had an older family birthday party. I didn't know there was anybody in your family that was older than you that was still alive.
Oh, snap.
Maybe it was into the cemetery at a party. The main reason you got into comedy is because you always make the medical staff laugh when you get a breast exam.
At least I could have some peace and quiet on my house on Sundays.
Oh boy, I don't understand that one.
Italians, nice family, community.
You got enough family. Oh, I got it.
It's over
All
my
right,
head.
wait. I think I need your cane, Bruce, because I'm walking blind through that one. If you ever had a child, it would be like breastfeeding with an eyedropper. You don't even have enough of cream for a cappuccino.
At least I don't have to kiss my grandma on the mouth.
No tongues, no tongues. On your wedding night, your husband was very upset. You tried to console him by saying, honey, there's nothing wrong with a little pee-pee. And he said, you shouldn't even have one at all.
You're so stupid. You're such a stunad. You got a DWI and an Uber.
You're so stunad, you tell people you live just up the street from the corner of Walk and Don't Walk.
Yeah, well, you're so stunad. You studied for a drug test.
And I did, too. I lost the count on the joint number 7. I bet your brain feels as good as new, seeing that you hardly use it.
You were so lame. You can't even get friends on MySpace.
Oh, you inspired the slogan, a mind is a terrible thing to waste.
You thought the Tide Pod Challenge was going on because of the full moon.
Whoa.
And one more.
One more. Your training bra died of exhaustion.
I thought I had no tits.
Yeah, that's why it died.
Can't have both.
That's funny.
Can't have both.
Your training bra died of exhaustion because it was exhausted. It couldn't
Because
train.
there's not enough tit to train.
There's not enough of tit to train.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. She's
Training
helping you
tips
with
right
your
here.
jokes, Gagoots. She's helping you.
No,
Tits.
thank you.
Oh,
Thank you,
man.
John.
Put up, shut up, stand up. If you have any training tip ideas or training tit ideas you'd like to share with us, please put it on our comments below. So, so how you feel about that, Mandy Jones? I know that was pretty rough.
Yeah, that's fun. Jeez, I've never had a heckler, so to have someone come at you like that, it's fun.
I think you handled it well in the one joke about the Sundays. I didn't get it too, but you know what? It was so funny the way you delivered it because you thought it was hilarious. Like she just
It's a matter of fact thing.
Yeah, it was just, she just enjoyed saying that so much. I just laughed. It was funny. But yeah, so
I happen to know that Benny has no family. And it's very so I did not laugh at that.
but yeah, so now. Joan, you want to start it off? You ready to score?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so
Sure.
you can let us know what you think of Mandy Jones and her roasting, and also score Benny again, because I kind of enjoyed that.
Well, Benny.
I'm going to get a 1 in the head.
Benny, I thought there were too many titty jokes.
Yeah.
And I think you're better than that. And I think Mandy's better than that, and she deserves better jokes than about her tits, which happen to be very nice. I'm just saying. I mean, we're on radio. So I'm going to also give her a 9 because she really worked against all odds.
A 9 from Joan St. Hodge.
Benny, I'm going to give you a... Well, I'll give it to you later.
Oh, wow.
There you go. Somebody get in the grease.
Petroni, what do you think about Mandy Jones?
Well, after hearing Joan talk about knives in Florida, I think we should get a metal detector in this place. Because, that was pretty crucial, pretty mean stuff there, and she took it pretty good, and she came back, and I gave her a 10.
Wow.
I think Benny really went for it, man. He really, if that was my wife, she would have smacked him. But, she's not a comic. So, but great job, Benny. I thought it was great. And Mandy handled yourself awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah, nice job.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Benny, what do you think about these two right now?
I like them both. I like them, and I think it's a very, I feel sad that one of them is going to be out and one is going to move on into the tournament.
Yeah.
But I thought it was nice, and I agree with Joan. I had one or too many tit jokes. I kept, but
Coming from a woman.
Yeah, it was, but then I was like, no, I can't. And then I like to breastfeed with an eyedropper. Then I like the cappuccino joke. Then I started to say, they're not a tit jokes. It's just a joke.
I think the set was a little bumpy and bouncy, but other than that, I think it was
Needed a little more support.
Yeah, I was trying to give her a little more support. I agree with that. But it was, and I learned to move on because I got a feeling Mandy and I were going to go out of this again. And
well, you never know. The poll could save Bruce
Yeah.
right now.
oh yeah, there's the poll.
There's a live
Bruce did
poll.
good.
Yeah. But Nigel,
Right now, the poll is saving Bruce because he's leaning on it.
Nigel, who do you think won? Just flat out.
Man,
and why?
that was hard because besides the whole breast jokes, that Sonic the Hedgehog line was really, really hard. But then she hit you with the Italian stereotypes, and I was just like, "Whoa!" I was waiting for you to say, "Didn't Tony Soprano whack you?"
The jar sauce line was really solid.
Oh,
That personally offended.
that was
That
something.
was
Yeah.
good.
That was low.
that was low.
Low.
That was a low. That's
That's why I.
That's like tying me up and making me eat a Domino's pizza.
All you had to do was follow that up with what's that Olive Garden, and then he would have.
Yeah,
Forget
if you would have hit him with all those stereotypes,
Forget
that would work.
about it. Don't listen to that crap no more.
Well, let's give it up
I
for the
gotta go.
Gagooch for coming out and doing his thing.
Grazie, everybody. Grazie. Molto grazie, molto grazie. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's time to go.
Oh, the mustache fell again.
Oh, the mustache. She's got to get better glue.
Oh my God, Benny, do you make gravy or sauce?
Yeah, we got to
I make a sauce.
Oh,
If I ever say to my family I make a gravy, you'll find me in the trunk of a Cadillac of Seville. I'm no kid you not.
Just for that gravy sauce thing, what I was told by my Italian friends is that the gravy is when it's meat sauce and there's
Right.
meat in it, and then the regular sauce is just kind of the traditional regular tomato sauce.
Right.
It's sauce, so that's the difference between sauce and gravy. At least that's what I'm told. But then you got those people.
The people that say they're really from Italy and they say it's called red gravy
Yeah.
and macaroni.
And then you tell it to an Italian from Italy, and they're like, "What the hell?" They talk like
Yeah.
that. What the hell are you talking about? That's the stupidest thing. It's sauce. But I don't know. I'm only half Italian.
I'm not either.
I'm Italian by injection.
Hey.
Oh! Patroni, was that you?
Yeah,
We just met. But yes.
she don't remember.
So what are you guys thinking so far? These two, you thinking this is a good battle? We're having some fun.
I gotta tell
Yes.
you, I'm having a great time. So it's definitely a good battle.
You know the thing that could make this better? Alcohol.
Yeah, we all had some booze going
That's
on.
the key. We're laughing this hard without alcohol. That's pretty good.
I bet you're funnier when I'm drunker.
He's probably awesome. Yeah. Hey, Benny, are you around? I want to see if we had any comments or anything going on in the internet and what our people back home on Facebook Live are doing, and also if you have an update on the poll just yet. We have a little bit of time before we get to the Wheel of Jokes. Ooh. The Wheel of Jokes is going to be crazy.
Okay, I'm going to check the poll right now, Don.
All right, so we're
I'm
checking
going
the
to the
poll. So
poll.
if you go to the poll, people, if you're just watching now, you can vote for either Mandy or Bruce by going on to the Put Up, Shut Up, Stand Up Facebook page. Click on their picture, and then your vote will go in. And also, if you change your mind and you decide to change your favorite, you could do that easily as well. So go on the page. I think Mandy Jones put the poll on her page, and Bruce did as well. So you can just vote, because that vote counts as 10 extra points towards the end. So it could be the difference maker in this competition. So, Benny, what's going on out there?
What's going on is we have 349 votes.
Wow.
And it is pretty close neck and neck. It's pretty close. I don't know if I want to tell you who has what right now and let them
All right,
let
we
the
can
voters
Right.
keep adding. Let's add to it. But it's close. It's pretty much by a nose, and you know what I'm talking about.
I must be winning, man.
Pretty much by a nose, but yet 349
Or is it by a boob or
votes.
by a nose? By a boob or by a nose? Okay.
By a boob, yeah. Boob or no.
But in any case, vote, people, vote, and leave us your comments. Are there any interesting comments that people?
Yes, there are a lot of interesting comments.
Very good, very good. We always
There are a
love
lot
to
of
hear.
them, and once I find them, I'll tell you what they are. So we've had a lot of great people watching, as I mentioned. We have Scotland watching. We have Ken Pichelle said.
Very good. Hello, Ken.
He said, pretty sure we're not solving the sauce versus gravy matter tonight. Gina Kanjemi Coffin, what is the female judge's name?
Oh, that's Joan St. Ange, everybody. She's a
Joan St.
local
Ange.
Long Island comedy legend here. Yes, she's helped formulate everything we know about Long Island comedy right now.
And we are attracting I've reached my plateau in comedy because we have the real drunk housewives of Australia are watching.
The
Oh
Drunk
my
Housewives
God.
of Australia.
Good day, guys.
Yeah.
Good morning. Good evening from Australia.
Australia.
Wow.
How you doing on Down Under down there? That's good. That's good. to
Bonnie
know.
Scalisi's watching.
Bonnie.
And she said, great job, Mandy.
Yes.
There's
Bonnie will be on next week versus versus Jeff Bosey. So that's going to be a good one too. It's Jeff Bosey versus Bonnie Scalisi in their round, which is next week.
I feel like I won that round.
that was the week where he roasted and that was a great roast battle. Anything else there, Goots?
Greg DeFilippo is watching. I believe that's how I did a show with him, and I think that's how.
What's up, Greg?
He's
Thanks
watching from Florida.
Hey,
so
great.
there's a lot of people. We have a lot of people watching. 349 votes.
Wow.
Keep an eye. So
Very good.
let's
Well, we appreciate all the people at home watching this.
That's kind of amazing.
Yeah, 340 on a Saturday night.
Yeah, on the Saturday night.
Wow.
So keep watching, keep commenting. We
Never
appreciate
even heard
the
of this
support.
show until today.
Some people just sit home and masturbate.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what time is it? I got to get going soon.
Everybody needs a hobby.
But yeah. But no, that's great. Thank you, everyone, for watching
Yeah.
and tuning in as we
Thank you.
continue with our show. We got other rounds coming
Scotland
up.
and Florida.
Scotland, Florida, and
Yeah.
Australia. The house
Everywhere in between.
Yeah, so we're cooking
So we're
with
hitting the
gas.
hot spots of comedy.
We're hitting the continents.
Yes.
Yeah.
Milwaukee just tuned in, and no, but I do.
Oh, they just tuned out.
But now we're getting to one of our newer rounds. Yeah, this one is the Wheel of Jokes.
Oh,
we got to get the wheel set
jokes.
up, and then we'll have Benny read it. But while we do that, so there's all different types of jokes. 1-2 punchline type of jokes, normal jokes, like dad jokes, mama jokes, children's jokes. Whole family's covered in jokes. And then you also have, your dirty jokes, your observational jokes, and all those things. So these are all on the wheel. They're going to spin the wheel 3 times. They're going to get 3 different joke options. And then they have to tell the joke based off of that. And it has to be a coherent, solid joke. And they did get these ahead of time, right? So when looking at this list, what do you guys think? Hey, Benny, you can put the wheel up and everything. Yeah, so we'll probably have you move out. Mandy will go first on the wheel. We got to put the wheel in place over here. So very small studio space, everyone. But as we get the wheel in there, so Mandy, when you got the list and you saw all these types of jokes, which you're more of a conversational style comic, this might not be necessarily in your wheelhouse. What did you think? Did you have to do research on these jokes? Did you have to start writing new stuff?
I did have to write a couple jokes, and then I have a big box of notes and stuff that I was going through, and I'm like, oh, this kind of works for this kind of works for this. So I was trying to find homes for all my jokes, what kind of category they could fall into. But I didn't have a knock-knock joke. Yeah, there was a couple that I had to put a celebrity impression. I had to think what I was going to use if those come around.
You could also lose a point, and there's also spin again, and we also have an instant 5 points added as well. So those could be key if you could get lucky enough to land on those. So we're getting ready to do the spin, but before we do that, Benny, are you ready to let them know what's going on with this?
Somewhere, where are you? He's homeless right now.
Yes, I'm ready, Don. I'm
go with the
born
graphic,
ready.
my friend Sam.
All right. From knock-knock jokes to political satire, a comedian should always be armed with a hilarious antidote. So, is it antidote? Is that the right word?
I think so.
Yeah, a little story. There you go.
All right. With a antidote. So each comedian will spin the wheel of jokes and must tell anecdote. That's the word, anecdote.
Yeah.
And everybody's here, antidote.
We
knew what you were getting at.
He wanted you to think it was poison.
Poison, yeah. No, all right. A comedian should always be armed with a hilarious anecdote, like what we just did for you all. So each comedian will spin the wheel of jokes and must tell a funny joke with a setup and punchline for whatever categories they land on. They will each have 3 spins.
Excellent. So, I will. Before we do the wheel, I'll read the categories again. We have knock knock joke, dad joke, mama joke, children's joke, dirty joke, observational joke, corny joke, hack joke, best celebrity impression, and political joke. You got all that?
Yep.
Are you ready to
Think
spin
so.
the wheel? The wheel of jokes, Mandy Jones.
All right.
Let's see what she lands on. Round and round it goes. Let's see what she gets. Dad joke. Here we go with a dad joke.
So I was driving with my dad, and I kept going, "You're driving like grandma right now." He's like, "Yeah, but Nana had a lead foot."
Excellent. Very good dad joke there. That was about a dad.
Corny.
Yeah, very good. And go ahead with round number 2. Let's see what she gets. Round and round it goes.
It's a nice wheel you guys invested
Mandy
in
Jones
here.
doing her thing. And let's see, what will it be? What will it be? And it's corny joke. Let's hear a corny joke from Mandy Jones.
So I went to visit my dad, and while I was there, we went to get food, but he drove my car. So when I was leaving, I was like buzzing back as close to the steering wheel as possible. He goes, "All right, honey, text me when you get to the wheel."
That is kind of corny. I'll give you that. Very good. All right, and here we go. The final joke from the wheel of jokes from Mandy Jones. Let's see what she gets. Let's see what joke style she lands on. It's going around. Here we go. Good spin. And she gets corny again.
Corny joke.
Again.
Another corny joke. All right, let's see. What are we going to do here?
You know what? Spin again. We'll let you do another one.
Actually, that looks like corny Jake to me. So.
It does look like corny Jake. All right, so if he doubles up Benny, we'll do another 2. All right.
Corny Jake is on next week.
Changing the way. Tune in after this.
Corny Jake.
Oh my God!
Corny Jake. All right, you gotta go ahead. Keep going.
All right, one more.
We won't let any doubles happen.
All right,
Yeah.
one more.
Has this ever happened on The
Yeah,
Price is Right?
Oh, Bob Barker never had to go through that.
There we go.
Lose
Ah,
a point.
All right.
Deduct a point from Mandy Jones. All right. Well, Mandy, that's your thing on the wheel.
Gotta stay for my points.
So you did a dad joke and a corny joke. And the dad joke was literally a joke about your dad, which I love. Joey Petroni, what did you think about her joke styles on the wheel there?
Well, I like the wheel. I like this segment that you came up with. Again, she just seems like it's pre-written. You know, you had some time, right? But I gave you an 8.
Thank you.
I was going to give you a 9, but it came to me too quick. So I just, 8's a faster. You know, 8's a, no, but how about 8.5? Can we do a half? 8. No, I gave you an 8.
I feel bad.
No, I give you an 8. I'm sorry.
Thanks.
8.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just a
fine.
solid 8.
And I guess maybe should she have gone with the corny joke? I mean, that's what threw me off a little bit. We wasted a little bit of time on the corny joke twice, and then she lost a point. So I'm going to give you a 9. I'm giving you a 9 because you lost a point. You shouldn't have lost a point.
I know. Yeah.
I'm changing my
Give her
mind.
the 9.
I'm
Give her
giving
the
you a
9.
9.
I agree
All right.
with that. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah,
that
I'll
you
give
should
it
not
not
have
back.
lost the point.
All right.
In hindsight, having her spin and spin
I
again
should-
Yeah,
got
yeah.
her to lose a
Yeah.
point.
You
so.
know who should have lost the point? Corny Jake. Corny Jake should have lost the
Corny
point.
Jake.
It's something like you order at Taco Bell.
I'll get a corny Jake with extra cheese.
Can I have 2 corny Jakes, please?
So you got a 9, Mandy.
Thank
Nice
you.
job. Very
Thank
nice.
Joan.
Well, I wasn't as nice to Mandy, but because she really blew me away at the beginning, and then now she's like. Anyway, I give you a 5.
Ooh.
5.
I know, but I think the jokes could have been better.
Okay.
All right.
I'm sorry to let you
You know
down.
what? And the corny jokes were not
Corny enough?
corny enough.
All right,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
I'll
but
get
the
corny.
corny Jake was really
Yeah.
fabulous. Okay.
I like that joke.
All I know is if Bruce lands on corny, he's gonna ace this shit. I love you, Bruce Lipsky. All right, so did you enjoy the wheel?
Yeah, no, that's definitely fun. Like I said, I didn't have a
That's
lot.
a great wheel, by the way.
Yeah,
That's
it's really
That is
nice.
really
They definitely
great.
invested on that.
Yeah, we have
Got a bigger
Sturdy.
budget this time.
Yeah, our budget is through the roof here.
Through the roof.
Put up, shut up, stand up.
Oh my God, they had judges like Sue Costello, Nigel Fullerton.
Yes.
Who are these people?
All right, so we're going to now switch places and get Bruce in here to do the wheel. So for comedians like you guys and have done this, is it hard to come up when you see it land on a certain thing like political joke or something, instantly, boom, it clicks, or do you have to
I have never done this before, so I wouldn't even know where to begin. We just, in my day, we got up on stage and told jokes. There was radio stations, but we didn't have one back here. And no, I think it's kind of fun, though.
Yeah.
It's definitely fun.
Yeah.
Next Saturday, I will turn on my radio. If I have one.
online. You go
Facebook?
on Facebook.
I'll turn on my Facebook,
Yeah.
my book of face.
Some
And I
dude from
will-
Scotland,
And I will go.
Scotland, Australia.
And make sure you let us know what you're thinking of
Of
all of our
course, I'll
contestants.
go, hey.
Because I bet you anything, Jones St. Odge now will get a lot of friend requests from all of our people all over the world watching.
Do not accept.
You don't accept friend requests? That explains why you're not my Facebook.
That's right.
I
Unless I've had a drink with you or a joint, then I do not friend you because I don't care.
Well, you're my friend. I guess we smoked a joint. I don't remember.
Yeah, you know, it was that awkward thing at Benny's, so I had to. Anyway,
okay.
go ahead.
All right, Bruce, when you're taking a look at this wheel, are there any these jokes that intimidate you?
Oh, this purple one over here. Best celebrity impression.
Yeah. So do you have any
Yes.
impressions up your sleeve?
Well, I'll find out.
If you were to land on best celebrity impression, what would it be?
Well, you're giving it away. What if it lands as the
Oh,
best celebrity
that's-
impression?
My celebrity impression would be Benny Gagoots.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it, Nigel.
No, that's not gonna
Can't
happen.
do it. Come on.
It's a pizza pie, everybody. Hey, there's a red to the gravy.
Wait.
Stunad.
Oh, your mustache fell off.
Oh, it doesn't come off at all. Fungu pasta fungu.
Excellent. All right, Bruce, are you ready to do this?
I am a little
All right,
nervous, but
let's
okay.
roll the wheel of jokes, everyone. Bruce got a good spin. It's going, and let's see. Corny Jake.
Bernie Jake once again.
That's
All right,
gonna be a
Bruce.
dance after this.
Okay. What's red and bad for your teeth?
What?
A brick.
There you go.
Yes.
Hi-yo. Right in his wheelhouse.
Didn't see that
Go ahead and roll it. Let's see. Let's see. Joke number 2 by my buddy Bruce Lipsky, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what he's got. Dad jokes. Let's hear the dad joke.
My dad is the worst driver in the world. I told him the only way I'm going to drive with him is he's in my passenger seat.
All right, very
Oh,
good.
wow. It took me a while.
A little twist. A little
A
twist.
little twist.
All right.
That definitely was a dad joke.
He just has a
Told by a dad.
dirty joke.
Oh, boy. I was sitting in my doctor's office the other day, and he walked in and he said, Bruce, I got some bad news for you. He said, I'm afraid you're going to have to stop masturbating. I said, I don't understand, Doc. Why? He says, because I'm trying to examine you.
Nicely.
Yes!
Nice.
Bruce Lipsky coming through on the wheel of jokes.
Bruce did.
So, Bruce, you see what I mean about how these kind of one-liner jokes is more in your wheelhouse?
Yeah.
This is what you should be doing on stage, I think.
Cut the words.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm learning a lot, as I said tonight.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to go with it. That's
You should
all.
just go up there and do a whole set of masturbation jokes. I think
Okay.
maybe go along with.
Maybe on the front page.
The long and the short of it, right?
Yeah, pedophile comedian.
Yeah, sex offender in your area.
I had a good time with that old guy. It was so nasty. He kept whacking off.
All right, so John, what do you think? I'll give you a second. I'll talk to Bruce a little
I
more.
got it. I gave him an 8 because he made me laugh.
Wow,
You made me laugh.
The wheel of jokes.
Especially your joke, your masturbation joke. I love a good masturbation joke.
Joey, what do you say?
Well, I gave Bruce a 10.
Oh, thank you.
Wow, nice.
Bruce,
Wow.
Did not miss a beat. I thought it was very funny, and I didn't expect you to come up with a dirty joke so quick, but you did great. You know.
Wow, Bruce,
All right.
that was huge. Wow, very impressed.
Cut the fat out of your other stuff, man. You got it. You know.
So now I think this is getting close. I think I think this is a very tough competition right now between these two, and we want to know what the people at home are thinking. So let us know in the comments who you think had the better jokes on that segment. But also remember to vote. I keep wanting to tell that because it's very important. Those 10 points can really be the difference maker. And Nigel, what were you thinking about Bruce's jokes there? He kind of knocked out of the park.
You're going to owe the library for this Milton Berle joke book. Because you're just stealing all of them. No, I'm just messing with you. No, it was really good. Like, I really enjoyed it, definitely. Like, I like that. Like, I was waiting for, you remember when Rodney Dangerfield would tell jokes, and then there would be, like, music behind, would go, that's what I was waiting for you, man. That's what I was waiting for. It was great.
Very good. The wheel of jokes,
Yeah,
everybody.
that's good.
Confidence.
All right, man, you come back and we'll get this wheel.
Don, what's your best celebrity impression?
For me, I do Chris Rock. No. You brought that out of me.
Please don't be racist.
I hate white people, man. What? No, you brought it out of me. No, I used to do Stallone back in the day. I did a very hacky thing. I did that I think is.
Well, I'm really surprised.
Isn't that a shocker? Yeah, I did.
No.
This was in the '90s, but anyway, that doesn't make it better. But I did Stallone as Rocky, constipated. Good. Cut it, Mickey. You gotta cut it. Mickey. That was the extent of it.
Oh my God.
I see why you host the
I'm
show.
not doing that. Now
I'm
you
really
see why
glad
you
I
host
never
the
got
show.
to say that.
I also did an inappropriate joke about the little people, midgets, too, where I did them.
Can't do that if you're not a little person.
I know.
Don.
I did them when they're dancing, and they're like, as a DJ, and he's like, reach for the sky. He's like,
I'm mad you said little people and midgets in the same sentence. Like, you knew that they were little people, but
teetering.
you wanted to call them midgets.
I love little people. They make me very happy. I love them all.
He represents the Lollipop Guild, everyone.
I do represent the lollipop kids. I love them all. But yeah, I mean, impressions are, to me, are hit or miss. I think some people really nail it. Like you got guys like John Santo who could come out and do a whole plethora of, and I did use that word plethora. Are you impressed with that?
I am.
Yeah, and a whole plethora of different characters and voices and presidents and everybody else, and to keep it fresh, I think it's hard.
I think the material usually is very weak on impressions, and I want the material to be better.
Yeah.
I mean, Rich Little nailed that impression, but it was so lame, the joke.
That's a good, solid point.
You know
jokes are
what?
never-
You gotta have something in there, not just do the impression. You gotta have funny.
And I guess it's hard sometimes. I don't know, like, because you're in that person's character. I mean, do you go? How do you? I don't know. I never did. I had Rocky taking a shit, so I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing.
All right.
How about you, Joey? Do you?
I don't do impressions, but I think what the impressionist with the jokes writing is probably doing the voice is very funny. Like when I was trying to do ventriloquism,
Yeah.
I thought it was hysterical going on stage with a puppet.
Right.
And to me, that was hysterical. My mom would be in the audience cracking up, but there was no material. But it was just, for me, it was just funny being up there with a puppet, so that's probably what I'm thinking as far as somebody who's doing voices.
Do you still do ventriloquism at all?
I do. I work with special ed, handicapped adults and kids, and every Christmas I'm Santa Claus.
Oh,
I
nice.
dress up my ventriloquist puppet as an elf.
Oh, nice.
And we walk around the halls and give out. And the nice part about it is I'm not the best ventriloquist, but Santa Claus has the beard.
Oh, yeah. So,
Right.
So now I'm the best ventriloquist ever. Hey, what's going on?
There you go.
Yeah.
Didn't even think about
I
that.
just found out something. You're a Santa Claus?
I'm Santa
Do you
Claus.
keep on the leather jacket too?
No, nobody would ever know.
Like
I'm
Santa smoking in the boys' room?
like
It's a
badass
Motley
Santa.
Crue Christmas.
Badass Santa Claus is in the house.
A Motley Crue Christmas.
So now we're getting ready for the final round, which is the best 5 minutes. So they're going to do their 5-minute sets.
Okay.
So this is it. This is what we've all been waiting for. And we're going to have Benny come out in a second and tell us what it's all about. So good. So now preparing for this,
Benny
you guys.
just started paying attention.
It's like a goots. He's here.
He's coming out. Here he comes.
Coming out. This is what you
We
do.
got people in Scotland waiting for you, Benny.
I know there's people. A lot of people are watching tonight.
Excellent.
Move that mic a little bit so people can see Jones' pretty face.
It's much better, thank you.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
All right, so get ready with the graphics, Sam, and let's tell them about the best 5 minutes whenever you're ready.
Final round, the best 5 minutes. This is the round that we've all been waiting for. This is where we get to see the best 5 minutes that each comedian has. This is the best of their stand-up sets. This will show us the skills that pay the bills.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo!
Yes!
Yeah!
This is what it all comes down to, folks. Who went
That's
last?
so nice.
Who went first?
I went first on the wheel.
So it's your turn, Bruce. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put 5 minutes on the clock. Let me just get my clock set. Are you ready, Bruce Lipsky?
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, folks. The Bruce is loose. Bruce Lipsky.
My wife just signed up for goat yoga. I'm not making this up. This is where you lie on a mat and the goat roams the studio, jumps on your back, and licks your ears. I said to my wife, yeah, sure, you'll pay a goat to do that. My wife said, he's got great technique and better breath.
Oh.
Recently, she dragged me to a yoga class. It was so embarrassing. The instructor came over and said, ah, that's so cute. I love your mat. What does it say? Welcome? Unknown to me, this was a hot yoga class. It's 150 degrees, 40 people packed in a room the size of a walk-in closet. At one point during my downward dog, I said, please, God, tell me that was a goat's tongue. My wife just bought a dog. $3,000. She said it's a designer dog. It's a cross between a bulldog and a shih tzu. I said, wow, you spent $3,000 on bullshit? At breakfast, I said to my wife, I hate this dog. He's disgusting. In bed, all he does is snore and fart. My wife said, I thought that was you. And I don't know how, but I got the only dog in the world with restless leg syndrome. I haven't slept in 3 weeks. All night long, all he does is kick and jab me. My wife said, stop blaming the dog. That was me.
Nice.
And veterinarian costs, they're just killing me. We went to the vet the other day. He said, Mr. and Mrs. Lipsky, your dog is overweight and has high cholesterol. Right then I jumped in and said, don't even mention gastric bypass. My wife, she just hired a new cleaning lady. This woman refuses to clean the whole house. I said to my wife, I hate this lady. She's lazy and does a terrible job. I think it's about time you fired your mother.
Oh.
Just got a call yesterday from my 87-year-old dad. He said, hey, Bruce, guess what? They just opened up a new comedy club in the neighborhood. I said, that's fantastic, Dad. What's it called? He said, Stand Up MRI. I said, Dad, do you think they accept hip? Yeah, I'm sure they take all body parts. Last Tuesday, I took my parents out to Friendly's. Right away, my mother started complaining. I started a fight with the manager. She asked, how come you no longer serve those nice brown mugs with the Friendly logo on there? The manager said they kept on disappearing. She said, that's too bad. I only needed one more to complete my set. So we got kicked out of Friendly's. It's gotten so bad that restaurants are now reviewing them. In fact, my mother called the other day and she said, Bruce, guess what? Denny's just gave us 1.5 on Yelp. Isn't that fantastic? I said, Ma, a 4 or a 5 is fantastic. Mom said, oh, so if you go back 2 more times? I said, Ma, it doesn't work that way. It's not cumulative. I recently took them out to dinner. And right away, my mother started to complain. She said, this is the worst Greek salad I ever had. I said, Ma, we're in a Chinese restaurant. I went back to their house, and I looked in their refrigerator. Half the items were past their expiration date. I said, Ma, are you familiar with this name, Salmonella? Mom says, does he still live on 22nd Avenue? Their Grey Poupon is actually gray. I asked my mom, how old is this meatloaf? My mom said, that's poached salmon.
Oh.
I said, Dad, this juice is from 2014. He said, expiration dates are meaningless. It's a bunch of malarkey. The government's in cahoots with big business. I said, Dad, Exxon is big business. There's no conspiracy going on at the Clover Valley Prune Juice Company. I even hired a cleaning lady for my parents. My mother loves to cook for her. I said, Ma, you don't have to cook for the help. Let them eat on their own. My mother said, but she really loves my meatloaf. I took my dad and mom to the hospital recently. My dad needed some tests. So we get into the elevator, and this guy wheels in a machine that has all these hoses and tubes on it. So my father looks at this machine and says to the guy, gee, I hope they don't hook me up to that machine today. He says, I hope so too. It's a rug cleaner. And my mother, she's got really bad arthritis. She walks with a cane all hunched over. I was taking her to a new specialist. She gets into the office there. All of a sudden, she walks out 5 minutes later standing straight. I said, Mom, what did this guy do? It's a miracle. She said he gave me a longer cane.
And time. Very good. Bruce Lipsky, everybody, with 5 minutes of his stand-up comedy stylings. That was good stuff, Bruce.
Thank you.
So, how do you feel right now after getting through it all?
You know, again, knowing what I've been through and the comments I've had, cut the fat.
Very good, very good.
I can't change what I've had, so, you know, I went what I had.
Joey, what do you think of Bruce?
I thought some jokes were stronger than others. Some definitely were stronger than others. You had a cleaning lady joke, and you came back to a cleaning lady joke. That could be a callback. You could work that somehow to be a callback. Maybe the second time you do it, take something from the first joke. I'm going to give you, I didn't write it down yet, but I'll give you an 8. Again, you know, you didn't stutter, you didn't mess up, you went through your jokes. You know, just matter of time, stage time, you know, getting up there and cutting the fat. And I think you had some really good jokes there.
And just getting the timing, just starting to flow a little better would be good.
Yeah.
But I love the setup punch style that you got going on. It suits you, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Joan, what do you think?
Well, I think you did great. The jokes were really good. The thing is that you don't know it, so you're reading it,
Right.
and it's, to me, reading material like this, you know, it's one word. One word should get you into the joke, not to have you read the whole entire joke. You should know that joke by going cleaning lady and go right into it. Then you're not so reading every word. And again, we know we're talking too many words. But once you get that down, and you have to do it all the time, you got to get the best 5 minutes ever, and then it just flows right out, okay? And I'd give you a 7. I thought you did a real good job.
Wow. And that's really solid advice. I would definitely.
I'm here to take it, definitely.
Yes, definitely utilize that as you move forward and progress in your young career.
Yeah.
My
advice? Quit.
We don't want anybody else.
Feeling the heat.
Well, this is hard enough to be sitting there
absolutely.
without an audience in front. This is a really tough,
Right.
really hard thing to do, you know?
Yeah, it's got to be tough coming in here. Benny, we got some comments?
Yeah, we do. Greg DeFilippo says, how old is this guy's mother, 200? He looks 90.
Oh, wow. No, Bruce is only like 32 years old. He has a hard life.
Two times.
Bruce,
worked on Wall Street.
when your audience is funnier than you.
No. All right. So, are you guys ready now? Is everybody ready for Mandy to take on her comedy stand-up 5 minutes? So, Mandy, is it hard or easy for you to condense it down your set to 5 minutes, or grow your set to 5 minutes, and to find that best five?
Well, I actually watched what I did last time because I wanted to bring you different jokes. I knew it was going to be different judges, but I'm like, if he's laughing, laughter's contagious, and I feel like if you were jaded and maybe heard a joke, I wanted to bring you new stuff. So
awesome.
So I tried to change it up a little bit, but still know with stuff that's going to work. So.
Excellent. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to this. Is everybody ready for the comedy stylings of Mandy Jones, everybody? Mandy Jones.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to dream, and I think it's important to have dreams. I dream of becoming a successful comedian and making big rooms of people laugh. And everyone I know, they dream about things like winning the lotto. And call me crazy, but I think my dream's better, because at least I don't have to wait till tomorrow to find out what a loser I am.
Oh, nice.
I think it's important to surround yourself with people like yourself. All my friends are stupid and mentally ill. They don't have voicemail boxes, and if they do, they're full. I have a friend, she got a DWI because she ran out of gas in a Prius. I have another friend, she apologized to me using solely emojis. I'm going to recite that text message for you now. Alien, ghost, robot, monster, monkey hear no evil, Muslim woman, male mermaid, zombie, fairy, yoga om, thumbs down, peace sign, fingers crossed, eyeball. And I just wrote back, I'm like, samesies, bro, same page. I'm just kidding. I didn't write her back. I have another friend, she complains about how awkward it was the time she had to shake the hand of a man with no thumb, because her hand just slid right up his arm. My sister, growing up, she named her fish Harry and the Hendersons after her favorite movie. It was one fish. She went to get her car washed, and before you get the car washed, you take everything out of the car because she was getting the interior and the exterior wash. And when she was done, she wanted to tip the guy, and she likes to use a little bit of Spanish, she knows, so she's tipping him, and she says, muy sucio, which means very dirty. He goes, sí, which means yes. So then she gets in her car, she looks in her rearview mirror, and one of her dirty thongs is on the back seat. She's mortified because she's shaking the guy's hand and saying, very dirty. My dad, growing up, he broke both of his arms at the same time, so he was contained to 2 casts at the same time, and he would ride a bicycle like that, my grandmother would say. She goes, I wish I had a photo of that. So then one of his arms healed faster than the other, so he got the cast off, and my grandfather took him to school. And then my dad was so pumped that he had all this extra mobility. He was running around school, and he slams into a metal door frame, shatters his kneecap. Now, same day, has to go back to the doctor now to get a cast on his leg. And the guy says to my granddaddy, he goes, yeah, I think he has weak bones. My granddaddy goes, he doesn't have weak bones. He's a fucking idiot. Like, this has nothing to do with the calcium deficiency. And then my dad saying, yeah, I had to take the short bus, because of my cast. I'm like, Dad, that was not because of your cast. Like, don't you remember they kept picking you up, like, after you got the cast off? This is my biological father we're talking about, so if anyone's offended, it's completely cool. We were going through photos one day. He holds up a photo of me. I'm like 5 years old. I got my Easter dress, my Easter bunny. He goes, oh, honey, I love this picture of you. You can see my truck and my Impala in the back. He was showing us around his room recently because he had redone everything, and he painted the walls, and he got some new furniture. And then he crouches down specifically to show us the pleather matted headboard. He goes, yeah, that's for when you're slamming the bitch's head against the back of the headboard. Like, thanks, Dad. It's perfectly normal conversation for your adult daughter and son-in-law, right? Yeah. I went to see a psychic recently, and he told me, you see problems before they happen. My husband goes, yeah, that's because you cause the problems. I always accuse my husband of having a food fetish because he's always saying he's going to stick his dick in, like, cake or ice cream. I'm like, you have a fucking food fetish, dude. But he doesn't have a food fetish. He just knows I'm a fat chick at heart, and I would eat the shit out of some sweets off his dick. Okay. Thank you, Nigel.
Wasn't expecting it.
But I want to leave you with this. I think it's really important to find humor in life and make light of life. And recently my basement flooded, so we had to throw a bunch of shit out, and it was horrible. Me and my husband spent the day bailing water unpaid out of our basement. Oh, man. And so later that night, we're laying down to get intimate, and he says to me, he's like, I'm going to make you as wet as our basement. And he wasn't even trying to be funny. That was just the wettest thing he could think of at the moment. So I think that's my time for tonight, guys. Thank you, Amanda.
Everybody. Wow. The wet basement joke was definitely
Yes.
very good. What do we got to move the... All right. Everybody wants to see the great Joan St. Age's face.
I wouldn't know why.
Mandy, I think that was good. I think that was a really solid set. I enjoyed it. It was funny. A lot of new stuff definitely from the last time I seen it. Nigel, while they're getting their scores together,
Sure.
what do you think about Mandy Jones's set?
Oh my goodness, she caught me off guard because I was picturing you eating stuff sweets over, and I'm like, I've met her husband before at a Wu-Tang Clan concert, so I know he didn't disinfect his penis after.
They got a little freaky deaky.
Yeah, oh my goodness. You're going to catch salmonella. I don't know his number, but you're going to find it.
Or some kind of yeast infection or something. No, I liked that joke, and also the other memorable one was definitely the wet basement.
The wet basement.
Yeah, I'm going to make you.
Yeah, she closed out strong, definitely.
Yes, she definitely
did.
Very good set, very good stuff. Joan, what do you think about Mandy Jones? Did she win you back over again?
I'll give her a 10. Thank you.
Yeah.
Here's what you
10,
do.
folks.
It's important. I don't know how much comedy you do, but you need to work harder on that 5 minutes and make it the best 5 minutes ever. Now I know you're in this competition and doing it, but when you go to do open mic, it should be your 5. Don't go, oh, I want to try some new.
Yeah.
Do that 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You could always do new stuff when you get more time.
Okay.
But you want to make the strongest 5 minutes. You got to give an impression as soon in every room that you do. And I thought you really did a very good job. I like your conversational style.
Excellent. Very good. Very big score from Joan St. Age. Joey Petroni,
Well,
what do you got?
I gave her
Wow.
10 as well.
Oh, 10 as well.
There we go. Finally, we agree.
Yeah, finally. And she had a board backwards, so I wasn't copying. I tried to see what she's doing, but no, very good. I was very enjoyable. I liked it a lot. The material was great, and Bruce, you did great. But like Joan was saying, you were reading a lot. Manny, I don't think you looked at anything the whole time. I think it was just all memorized.
It's that one
You
word.
had the whole thing
that's
Have a
all
memorized.
set
you
list
need.
with the one word
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
there. Just see the
Punch.
word.
Yeah, what are those called? Bullets.
Then it makes it much more natural.
Yeah, yeah. And it flows better, and you're more confident that way. And, on stage, if you're memorized, you can actually go off your material a little bit. You'll be more confident.
Right.
So it's good. Very good.
Excellent. Great scores.
Great.
Yeah. You got 20 points right there from that one. But now we're going to go to the polls, and we're going to see what that had. So, again, I want to let everybody know to go to the polls. We have a few more seconds before we reveal who the winner of the poll is, and that winner will get an extra 10 points added. Could be the difference maker for one of these two. So go to the polls, vote for Mandy.
Tell them what they win,
Tell
Don.
what they win. Nigel, tell them what they
Man
got.
up.
Well,
Frosty.
you win a box of pizza.
It's an Amana side-by-side frost-free refrigerator and a year's supply of rice-a-roni. Rice-a-roni, the San Francisco treat.
Very nicely done. Joan St. Ange. I give Joan an 8.5 for that one.
Oh my goodness.
No, that was great. And the winner from this round will now face off against in round 2 after we get done with these first show of rounds, which the next show is Bonnie Scalisi versus Jeff Bosey. Then we got Eli Velasquez, I believe, is versus who's Eli? Kristen Tinsley. And then after that, then the last of the first round is Dana McAllister versus Andrew Pelagnos.
And Corny Jake, everybody.
And Corny Jake will be here. Special
Corny
guest
Jake.
Corny Jake. That should be your new rap name.
Hey!
Yo,
Here he is,
That's-
Corny Jake.
That should be Goots' name. When you see him coming, all you see is Corny.
Corny Jake. Yeah,
You scooch and
I
ghoul.
definitely want to. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Corny Jake.
Skipazza, son of Donamici.
Oh, my God. Don Amici. He's dead.
Like son of a beach. But
Oh, with Don Amici.
Son of
Gotcha.
Don
He was
Amici.
in Trading Places.
Before we announce the poll winner, just tell us, is there any other comments going on? Anybody else?
Yeah, there's more comments. And Greg DeFilippo, I'm sorry, Greg, if I mess up your name. He's sent me a message. And he said, I'm hosting a watch party for you in Australia, Scotland, England, and Germany.
Awesome.
All of Europe is watching.
Okay.
Thank you. We gotta get him. Is he here in Long Island? Could he come?
He's in Florida,
Oh, he's
but
in
he
Florida.
will come. I actually was on the Knock 'em Dead show with him.
Okay.
Last year.
We
the
would love to have you on the show, Greg.
He'll be in town. He'll be when he's around. Greg, when you're around, come on down.
Yes.
And a lot of people we've gotten some critiques and criticism on the wheel, and
Okay.
so I wrote these people and told them that we will discuss their criticisms.
We will have a meeting.
And we will have a meeting
We'll be at
on
the
it,
meeting and get corporate
and
involved.
We'll see, yes,
and talk to HR department.
I
And,
know
see
we
what we
can-
and there was
I know one.
a couple of people who were asking for your impeachment, but I told them it's never going to happen. So it's not going to happen.
it's
Don't
the
worry.
Donald thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, us Donalds normally stick together, but not in all cases. But okay, folks. So let's see who's the winner of the poll.
Okay. When I spoke before, I said 349 votes. We got 351 votes, and Bruce Lipsky has 46%. Mandy Jones with 54%. Very close. So
race.
54%.
Bruce Lipsky
For Mandy.
definitely held his own on the poll. I didn't. It was all social media, and for Bruce,
That means people don't like you, Bruce.
That's all right.
No. In all, 351 votes, and there were a lot of comments. There were 41 comments, and it was pretty equal with the comments.
was
There were
pretty
people
equal.
saying Mandy. There were people saying Bruce has my vote. And in all honesty, to get 46%.
That's very close.
Yeah, that's very
That's
close.
huge. That's great.
Okay.
That's a
46% of
I'm just being a realist.
What did the Electoral College say?
The Electoral College. They're still, yeah.
That doesn't mean
Okay, well, the Electoral College is 10 points. You get 10 points for getting for winning this round,
Wow, very
right?
good.
All right,
Here we go.
Bruce, you got 73 points today. Mandy, from the judges, you got 88 points.
Oh, man.
And with the extra 10, you have 98. 98
Mandy Jones
points.
is our
Mandy
winner.
Jones.
That means
of
people don't
tonight's
like you, Mandy.
show.
That's what that means. People don't like you.
Mandy Jones is the winner for tonight's game. Congratulations.
Yeah!
On now to the next round, which will be announced soon, who she's going to be going up against. Next week we face off against. We'll see Bonnie Scalisi versus Jeff Bosey in a thing in their challenge, and I can't wait. That's going to be another great one. Bruce, thank you very much.
My
You were
pleasure,
a
my pleasure.
very strong opponent. You did your thing, and
Bruce, we have to take you out back and kill you now.
Where's your knife?
It's only right.
I don't know if anyone told you.
Don't
But
leave
the
it to
loser gets.
right. Don't leave it to Benny though, because he'll screw it up.
well, that's the show for tonight, folks. I want to thank both our contestants for coming on, and of course, thanks to our judges. Great times it's been tonight. Thank you for Nigel for getting here, even though it was a little late, not under your control, but you.
It wasn't under my control.
Yeah, but you're here. I appreciate you, brother. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up. And also, if you're interested in being on the show, email us at putupshutup@gmail.com. Also, be sure to check out govsradio.com and Facebook Live every day, as there are a ton of great shows that air here, right here in the studio, every single day, including Three's Company, which is Mandy Jones' show.
Oh, wow.
It's on, Wednesdays?
Yeah, 7:30 to 8:30 on
with,
Wednesday night.
with Tony Landolfi, I always get his name wrong. I apologize, Tony, if you're
Bonnie
watching. Tony
Scalise.
Landolfi and the great Bonnie Scalise. So make sure you check that
Oh, I'm
show
going to
out.
be on Knock 'em Dead on Wednesday, too.
Oh, Nigel will be
Yeah.
on the Knock 'em Dead radio
On
show.
Wednesday, yeah.
And make sure you watch that. They're on every Monday through Friday from 11 to 1. So also make sure you come check out Governor's Comedy Clubs, Governor's Brokerage, and McGuire's. Check out local live stand-up comedy because there's no place better to watch live comedy than right here at Governor's. Also, I just want to say on behalf of everyone here, I'm Don Sill, and thank you to everyone for tuning in, and always be funny like Joan and Joey and these two. Peace out, everybody.
They're all going to laugh at you.
All right. Thank you very much, everybody.
That was
I appreciate
awesome.
your
My hands
Are we
a
off
little
the air?
clammy. Yes.
Okay.